What's going on?
Hey guys, it is Scotch for Dummies.
Hello.
Someday we need to release like a
Swinging, right?
I have no idea what goes on.
The behind the scenes stuff is.
It's good time.
It's fun. That's
Very
what makes
good
it so
time.
fun, right?
Welcome to Scotch Night.
Yeah.
It's Scotch Night.
Hey, everybody.
Guys, I'll tell you what. We got some Glenfiddich XX on tap here tonight. Project XX. It's going to give it to you.
Double deuce.
I got this from Benny's in Chicago a while back in the trip. I brought it down. It's kind of a special thing. Basically, it's a Brian Kinsman, the malt master, basically said, "Hey, how about we get 20 ambassadors?
That guy.
And each one take a cask, and we'll mix something happen." And this is basically the outcome.
Yep. So this is part of their XX series. This is number 2, so that's something to know. This is XX number 2
All righty then.
because this is the 2020 batch.
You're up.
Series number 1, they tried to put some India Pale or put some of their Scotch in India Pale Ale casks.
Oh.
That was their first experiment. We've not tried that one, so that'd be interesting to try as well.
That
I
seems
just saw
super
that.
experimental.
It's out there. I don't know.
I've seen a couple of them like that with that now.
I'm not sure how I feel about
So
that.
can you imagine being able to be one of the 20 that gets to go into Glenfiddich's warehouse and say, pick a barrel, pick any barrel.
Well, I'm sure there was some limitation.
Well, okay, sure.
Yeah,
But
so it is not
I back
aged.
my car up.
No, you don't get to keep it. So you've got bourbon barrels, ex-bourbon barrels. You've got sherry butts. You've got port tubes.
Port pipes.
You
know,
got
there's-
anything and everything.
There's a little bit of everything
Yeah.
here. So this is going to be probably a really interesting mix of flavors, and hopefully they've done a great job. Because what the malt master did is he took those casks and he created the final blend or the final mix, so he can kind of mix the flavors. So we'll see what happens.
So other than the fact that it's experimental, we don't really have a whole lot of other information as far as how if it was
It's a
finished.
batting. It's a batting of different stuff.
Or,
Adding a 20 barrels.
There's no age
and
on it.
obviously in NAS because they just went through and picked out their
Right.
favorite casks and that was the end of it.
Well,
So,
We don't know which ones they maybe picked a 6-year or a 3-year or
Right.
10-year. We don't know. But I mean, I'm assuming he said, well, we're going to go on the early stuff. Guys.
Yeah.
3+.
I don't know.
I thought one of the most intriguing things about this bottle was it actually says on the bottle to experiment with a little bit of salt. A dab of salt to heighten the taste. I don't know how I feel about putting salt in my.
Yeah, so
I don't think so either.
if you go to the Glenfiddich website, they've got a video on this where you just put like a flake of salt in the glass before you add your scotch, just to
Really?
add a little something
We'll
to
have
it.
to try it. Maybe we'll do a little crazy
Yeah.
testing one of these days. But
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I'm
we're not
looking
doing it
forward
tonight
to
on
it.
this review.
We've done a lot of Glenfiddich on our reviews.
What'd you get for this at Benny's?
About 80.
Yeah, I think
$79,
$80.
$79.99. So $80 bottle. Just to put a price point. What was the ABV on it, guys?
47.
47. Okay,
So it's
that's
got a little
That's
bit.
nice.
And I did note it is non-chill filtered, so it's going to have the good, or hopefully the better mouthfeel.
Okay, caramel.
All I know is somebody knows how to pour around here.
No, it's a big difference with showers.
Ooh, it's got a very velvety, wonderful nose.
Yeah, velvety, that is a good term. That's about right.
I actually smell salt too. I mean, sulfur. Not
Really?
sulfur, but salt.
I get caramel,
Yeah, that's why I got
like
first.
rich caramel.
Like salted caramel. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
I'll find that little bit of salt in there.
Yeah. Some dried plums maybe. Little cherries.
There's a lot happening in this glass.
Yeah.
You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper,
Yeah.
Dylan.
I'm sorry.
You started
I
it.
know.
Why? What are you doing?
Oh, this is
I'm gonna take
actually
the John Kimball.
I'll tell you
very, very pleasant on the nose. To get to John Kimball. Downhill we go. All right.
Was it 45 minutes into our live? What?
Yeah, right. Might as well be.
And by the way, if you're
Just
watching,
saying that.
every Thursday we're live. This stuff gets even crazier. And hit the subscribe button right now.
Yep.
Love to have you.
We start at
Ring the bell.
we start at 10. It goes off the rails about 10:30.
Yeah. It gets crazy. Well, I'm interested in this one. This is really nice in the nose.
Man. All right.
So when I think of scotch, this is kind of like the hearty steak. This is kind of, it's not too in any direction, but it's got meat to it.
It does. It's depth. I mean, it's definitely got some stuff going on.
I can't pull anything out individually yet, but it's got a lot going on.
I got toffee on the taste and the palate.
Nose is nice.
Some dark fruits.
I think my problem with this, now that I've had a couple of sips, is it's almost, I don't want to say it's jumbled up, because it's not. I mean, you can pick out specific flavors, but it seems like there's so much going on in the glass, but you're never going to be able to discern it.
Maybe.
Because it's all just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So you're getting the main flavor profiles of the Glenfiddich, and then some of the flavor profiles that would be inherent in the majority of the casks that they chose.
I bet water will blow this up.
So do you think you're getting too much on the whole 20 picks of batting?
I don't think so. I think it would have been cool if they would have let you know a little bit about those 20 barrels. Like, these are the 20 that we picked.
Yeah.
Because it's an experiment, right? So let us know what you did. You know, I mean, you don't have to give us the whole lowdown on it, but hey, you know, we had, you know, barrel number 1 was, you know,
Solera.
finished in sherry cask, and you know, it was 20 years old, and
We got the 18.
You know,
Look at
whatever.
the 18 in here, the small.
I don't even need to know how much of each one you put in. It would just be
You need to add water.
yeah.
It lightens
Or
the nose.
or not even give it that much. Say there were out of the 20 barrels, 4 of them were PX sherry casks. 7 of them were American oak first fill. You know, whatever. Just some
the fundamentals.
information.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And before I got
Sorry.
water too, I got orange now, by the way, in the nose.
Yeah, so I added the water, and I'm starting to be able to tease out different flavors out of the nose now.
I think
Look
that
at
there's
your
a lot of
glass,
stuff in there,
Mark,
but
it's
it's
oily.
Huh?
Your glass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look at how oily that glass is.
it's tough though. I mean, I can pick out the overlying flavors now, but I think there's a lot more going on in this glass.
Okay, I'm close.
And there's some oak right there in the finish. Towards the end of the palate and the finish. And I haven't added water yet, but I've got oak now. It's once it's kind of opened up a little bit more, it's sat here for a few minutes.
I put water on. I get a lot more spicy notes now,
Really?
and I get a lot more of oak influence now.
Yeah, a little bread in the middle, rolls into spice in the nose.
There's bread. Yeah.
There's a hint of vanilla.
I like it.
It's good.
I'll
Ooh,
keep it
that
up.
I'm starting to get some cherry
So-
notes on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
First
takes a
of
little while
all,
to open up.
I didn't have high expectations. All right, I honestly was going into this saying I'm probably not gonna like this. There's a huge train wreck that can happen.
You're right.
I mean, have you
Flushing
ever
suicide.
Right, have you ever taken that cup at the Burger King, go fill up, and you get yourself a suicide? You know, I can take some Dr. Pepper, give me a little orange. You know, every now and again, you get a dream. You're like, oh, this is the best. You're never going to recreate
The difference
it. Right?
is you're just an entrepreneur trying to be a novice, right?
Exactly.
This has got a master blender.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, there's a ton going on. And yeah, there's the potential for you never to pick it all out. But I'm having a good time trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Each nose, each time I drink it, I'm going in there going, what is it? There's something around the next corner, which is really fun for me. But even if I can't put my finger on it, it still tastes good. The nose is still good. I'm really enjoying the flavor on it. I honestly think it handled the water really good. It did bring it out a little bit more spicy, which I'm intrigued by. This is tough, man. I mean, I'm knocking on a higher door. I'm going to say 3 with the reserve, with the right to maybe change, pull a mulligan here.
All right.
Mulligan in Scotland. It's hitting 2. Or hitting 3, what do they say? So I'm going to start off with a 3 and think about it. Enjoy another sip or 2 while I pass the buck. But so far, you know what? Hats off to those 20 people, man. I'm pretty impressed.
All right, so the nose on this is, it's way better with water for me tonight. I'm able to get some more like apple and cherry on the finish there when I added a little bit more water. So as it's like any Scotch that has multiple castings like this, you got all the different chemicals in there, and they're all water soluble and all alcohol soluble to different degrees. So as you add water, you're going to change those ratios, and you're going to start to bring out new flavors and new noses, and that's what I think I'm finding here.
Yeah.
There's a lot to this. It's going to take some work to find it out. I want to give it a couple more seconds to put a sip on there to let that water go. So initially out of the bottle neat, it was tight. It was meaty. It was hearty, like a steak, but there was more to it than that I knew had to come out. I'm glad I added the water. So $80, non-aged, Glenfiddich, limited release. Now it's their experimental series, so they're trying some things on that. Oh man, where do I go with this? I got to go at least a 3 because I think if I had a bottle of this on my shelf, it would take me some time to learn it and to find the right water ratio.
That's
to
fun
get my
for
favorite
me.
modifier. That is, it's a bit of work. You can't just sit down or hang out, but it is kind of a fun thing to do.
Right.
So I give it credit for the ability for a Scotch to be able to do that. So I'm going to give it a 3. Yeah.
Wow, you guys are really nice. I'm actually not going to give it a 3. Here's my thing on this. Now that I've sat and thought about it some more, to your point and to your suicide point, I think if you look behind the lines of this, I'm a huge Glenfiddich fan. I love a lot about their whiskeys are great. Their Scotch is awesome. And the one thing that I think, to your point originally, which I kind of shot down for a second, is it does kind of like feel like a suicide, like I'm searching for something and I can never get it because something else comes in there. And I feel like that this is their attempt to kind of just marketize something, right? It's like it's an NES and they're trying to make something happen, be different, and stand out.
Yeah.
And I get the marketing behind that, but I would rather just have a Solera or the small batch or something else or bourbon, right? I know what I'm getting into. It's not bad. I mean, I'm gonna drink it. I like it, but it's too much for me to really kind of really like it. I'm gonna give this a 2. I think for the value, it's pretty good. And it's kind of cool. I'm glad I bought it because I wanted to try it. It's different. But I think that I'd rather go buy a single malt that I know what I'm getting into. I think this one's just a little too much muddiness in the water.
I'm right there with you. It's funny because
You said 2?
I did.
if I had 20 ambassadors and I said, go in this warehouse and pick out each of your favorite casks, whatever it is, go pick it out. I would take their expertise and say, well, there's going to be 20 single releases, single cask, because that's your favorite.
Yeah.
And it exemplifies, there's something about that cask that you thought was the best that Glenfiddich had to offer. And instead of doing that, they dumped them all together. Which
I love it.
They blended them together.
I think it's delicious.
But here's the thing. I just don't... I can see what they were trying to do, but I'm kind of with Drew. I feel like it was kind of a marketing thing a little bit. It's not a bad Scotch.
No, it's not bad.
I don't want to make you think that it is a bad Scotch. And for the money, I think it's probably a decent value. But
more to get 18.
to me, I think I would just have rather had the individual barrels and judged for myself their, what they have going on. You know what I mean? So
That's your point.
I'm torn between a 2 and a 2.5, but I think I'm going to go 2 just because I'm sad that I won't ever get a chance to taste those 20 barrels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they were probably amazing.
Right. I'm getting a chance. I'm tasting those 20 barrels right now.
This was a divisive Scotch. We don't normally
So the
have
thing
one that splits us that hard.
the thing that's interesting here is we talk about how the importance of
I think it's
complexity
delicious.
in a Scotch, and now we got a complex Scotch, and we're like, oh, it's.
I don't
kinda
find
good.
it overly complex.
I don't
though.
think it's that complex either.
I find it.
Oh wow! I there's a lot going on in there. What was your point? There was something I was going to make a point. So you said $20 more and get the 18 small batch reserve, right?
Yeah, around that. Yeah.
Okay.
Give or take.
We got that ordered. It'll be here in the mail in a couple days. So all right,
Head-to-head.
we'll do a little head-to-head blind taste, and we'll pour this, and we'll pour that 18. Throw it at Drew and see what he says.
I'm gonna pick the
You know what he's going to say?
He ain't
He's gonna
had the
say
18 in a
bananas.
minute.
I'm getting
Yeah,
banana
yeah.
this right now.
I need a
guys.
banana shirt.
So, all right, cool. Great review. I love to see. I love to see
I'll tell you
the
what.
disparity.
It's an experiment.
I'm getting
So-
bananas out of it now.
I think that this is going to be one that people should, maybe try. Maybe you're going to really love this Scotch and you think it's going to be awesome.
$80.
Maybe not.
Come on,
I don't
man.
know.
It's not bad. I mean,
For $80?
it's not bad.
I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
No, you're not. I'd go.
I'm going to drink the Scotch.
I'll tell
like
you
the
what.
Scotch.
The one thing I'm going to knock on it
I
is,
know it's
and I guess I understand why. It's I'm sure it's got coloring. It doesn't say natural coloring in it. So they put some coloring
it's
into
probably
it.
young. That's all right. I don't even care about coloring anymore. Well, I mean, I
why,
do when
man?
it gets to super sweet.
If you're doing an experiment, leave it clean. So we can see what the heck. It's an experiment.
This scotch is
need
purple.
To, you don't need to color it up and paint it. But
So if you guys have tried this, please comment. I'm
Yeah,
really
love to
curious.
hear
This
what
is
you
actually
guys
a really good debate between all four of us. This is probably the most divided we've been, I think,
Yeah.
in most reviews. And I would love to hear your feedback on this one. What's your thought? I'm sure there's some things we're leaving out, and it'd be a good discussion to have amongst all of us.
I feel like this is a scotch that, if you have a sensitive palate, you may be able to pick out some extra flavors, or that other people might not be able to. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of work.
It is.
Well,
don't
but
know.
the thing is, I can sit there and it just has a nice
I think
long
it's
finish.
delicious. I really
It has a
think
nice long finish. I can just
I
sit
love
there.
spice.
Well, you can have that, and we'll drink the small batch reserve.
Sure.
Hey, don't cut me out of that.
No, because I like that too.
Hey guys,
I
hit
like
the
that
subscribe
too.
button right now. Every Thursday night
So,
we're live. Love to
averaged up.
see you.
Averaged up 2.5.
It
The
is.
threes should win.
Oh,
Threes and the twos.
Twos and the threes.
Launch it, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks.
Enjoy, folks.
We'll see you.